All right. So like I said, we're going to start in a comfortable seated position today, making sure that you have a little bit of space around your mat as always, so it can move a little bit side to side. Um, and then we're just going to get started as usual by taking a little bit of time to come into our center, come into our breathing, and create a little bit of space for our practice tonight. So we're not going to be doing any ranges of motion from this seated position. So if you're more comfortable today with those legs out long or the knees bent and the feet planted, wherever is good for you, I invite you to find that position. When you get to that position, all I want you to do for just a couple of moments is allow yourself to kind of pull into your center. Notice how you're feeling, notice where your breath is today. And it's been a weird weekend, so I invite you at this time to just kind of take stock of yourself, take stock of your surroundings. And then as we continue to move throughout this practice, this is time that you have dedicated to take for yourself, and I'm so proud of all of you for dedicating that time during the week for you. And as thoughts do float in, as they will, not to try and stop those thoughts from coming in, but just notice them, become aware of them, and move on, let them float away and come back to them at a later time. So like I said, focusing in on your breathing, focusing in on how you're feeling, we'll start that with just a scan of the body, starting from the top of the head and moving down to the tips of the toes. And once again, without any judgment here, we're just noticing how we're feeling today. We're noticing when there are points of tension, maybe if we can send that next exhale there to allow them to release and relax. Everything might build up. So maybe starting at the top of the head, you notice that the muscles in the face or jaw are tense, sending that next exhale there. Maybe you find it in your neck or in your shoulders, allowing them to relax and release. Moving down into the arms, maybe you hold it there or in the hands or the fingers, finding that relax and release. Down through the core, through your true center, the chest, the back, upper and lower, those abs. Down through the hips and the glutes, into the legs, down to the tips of your toes. Now that you've maybe noticed a couple of points of tension, maybe you're a little bit sore, maybe you're a little bit tight from sitting in a chair all day, send these next 2 or 3 exhales to those points. Allow them to release and relax. Allow your tongue to come away from the roof of your mouth. Allow your eyes to soften or gently close. Once you've gotten there, starting to deepen through those inhales and exhales. As you inhale, allowing a little bit of space through the chest, through the ribs, through the belly, allowing that expansion. As you exhale, still allowing that release and that relaxation through those points of tension. Finding just 2 more nice deep breaths here in this position. After that second nice deep breath, gently allowing those eyes to reopen. Maybe just moving a little bit side to side or getting the fingers and toes moving a little bit. Just to start to wake up a little bit. As we start to get warmed up, we're gonna transition over into our child's pose up next. So I invite you to join me there, however's best for you to get there. So we're just bringing it over, taking those knees about the width of the mat. Those big toes come nice and close together. Sitting those hips back towards the heels and then taking those arms out nice and long onto the mat, finding that extension. Once you reach this position, taking a moment to recenter and re-find your breathing. And then I invite you here to take any of a couple of options. So you can stay right in center here with the arms long and the forehead against the mat. Maybe you're a little bit more comfortable today with those hands stacked on top of each other and the forehead resting on the hands. Maybe you slowly walk those hands side to side and find that nice lateral stretch in either direction. Or maybe you find a nice chest opener and tricep stretch by taking those hands onto the shoulders, bending at those elbows. Maybe you find that a couple of those feel good. So just transitioning between them. We're going to take a couple of nice deep breaths here. So I invite you to settle into any of those options in your child's pose that feels good for you today. And then recentering your breath. Find those nice deep inhales and exhales. Still allowing space for that expansion through the chest and still allowing for that relaxation through the rest of the body. Now, if you found either of those directions, I invite you to take a second to even out if you're on that first side. And then once you have, go ahead and bring it back to center. Walk those hands in, and then we're going to bring it up to hands and knees. We're going to start here by getting that spine warmed up in our cat and cow. So taking that with the pace of your breath. With those inhales, we're going to drop the belly towards the floor and look up towards the ceiling. With those exhales, we're going to round up the spine towards the ceiling, tuck the chin in towards the chest. With this one really flowing with your breathing with those nice deep inhales and exhales. And starting to get that spine moving for our first true range of motion today. Finding two more nice deep breaths here. That's twice more in each direction for me. When you finish those last two breaths, we're going to take it out into our puppies. So taking your time finishing those. And then we're going to keep those hips up high, but walk those hands out long. So this is a little bit deeper of a chest opener than our child's pose was. Keeping those hips up high, we're allowing for a little bit more space to press down through the chest towards the mat. Taking just a moment in here, and then up next, we're going to find our spinal twist. So I'm going to start with my right arm. I'm going to take it and thread it underneath in between my left arm and my left leg, and then placing that right shoulder down on the ground into this spinal twist. Now, if this feels good and this feels like a pretty intense twist for you today, you're welcome to stay right here. If you want to take this up a notch, you can take that left hand, extend it up towards the ceiling, and then bend at the elbow and bring it around behind the back for a little bit of a chest opener, that half bind there. We're going to take just a moment in here to allow this spine to be in this twisted position. Awesome. If you found that half bind, I invite you to take that left hand back out, and then wherever you are, we're going to bring it back to center in that puppy. All right, just a moment here, finding this nice stretch down the center, and then we're just going to switch sides for our spinal twist. Left hand comes down in between, placing that left shoulder on the ground. Once again, you can stay right here in this twist, or if you want that a little bit higher intensity, that right arm can come up and around the back for that half bind, opening those shoulders a little bit more towards that right wall, finding a little bit higher intensity in this stretch. If this doesn't feel quite right, like I said, you're welcome to keep it right here in just that nice spinal twist. If you found that half bind, go ahead and lengthen that arm back out long, and then bring it back up to center, right down the middle one more time. We're going to find each stretch in one more time in each direction. So taking that right arm, threading it through, place that right shoulder down once again here, or you can take that left arm into that half bind. When you get there, we've got two nice deep breaths. Big inhale and exhale here. After that second breath, if you found that half bind, taking that arm back out long, bringing it through center, and then we're just going to take it over in that other direction. That left hand comes underneath and through, placing the left shoulder on the ground. Once again, you've got this option, or you can take it up a notch into that half bind. Two nice deep breaths on this side when you get there. After those two breaths, if you found that bind, take that hand out long, bring it back through center, and then walk those hands back in so we're up at hands and knees. Up next, we're going to find some lateral flexion. So we're gonna start off nice and easy by just looking over that right shoulder. So we start by moving in this direction, and then I want you to pull that right hip towards your gaze. So we're just opening up a little bit through the left side of that spine. With your next inhale, we're gonna bring both through center and then switch over to that other side. So this is a really small range of motion, moving laterally, the hips towards the head and the head towards the hips. Just going side to side with your breath a few times. That inhale brings you through center. That exhale brings you in that other direction. We'll take just a moment here for a couple of breaths, getting the spine moving, and then we'll have an option to take it up in intensity in just a second. All right, so now you have the option to keep going with that. Or next time you come over to that right side, finding a little bit of a hold. This will be also a little bit of a balance challenge. That left leg is going to extend back as if we're going to press into a plank. But instead of bringing the right foot up to meet, we're going to step the left foot around to the outside of that right leg. So we're just deepening through that lengthening of the left side of the spine. If you feel good and stable here and you want to take that left hand and step it around nice and long to the outside of that right hand, I've got a whole lot of length from my left fingertips all the way around to my left toes. If that doesn't feel quite right in any capacity, you're welcome to bring it back to hands and knees and just find that side to side range of motion. If you found this in its deepest form, I invite you to bring it back through center, and we're just going to switch sides. So when you look over that left shoulder and pull that left hip up, we're extending that right foot back and stepping it around to the outside of that left leg. And then if you'd like, those right hands can come around to the outside of the left hand for that little bit of a balance challenge, but also to extend a little bit further here. Once again, if that doesn't feel quite right, maybe it's a little different on this side than the other, I invite you to bring it back. And we're going to find this just one more time in each direction. So again, stepping it through center, looking over that right shoulder, taking that left leg around to the outside, if that feels good today. Stepping that left hand around to the outside of that right one. Taking just a moment here for this nice big stretch. With that next exhale, go ahead and bring it back through center. And then bring it onto that other side for one last time here. That right leg steps around, that right arm steps around, finding that nice big stretch here. And then go ahead, bring it back to center, hands and knees. All right, up next, we're gonna get warmed up and moving through the back. So I want you to bring it on down onto that mat. Take those arms out nice and long overhead. Those feet are nice and long right behind us. We're gonna start with an X lift, so kind of a Pilates move here today. Keeping the neck nice and neutral, you're gonna take that right hand and that left foot and lift it up off the floor, and then set it down with that exhale and switch sides. So we're just alternating sides here, getting the shoulders, the glutes, and the back warmed up, and just keeping it moving here a couple times side to side. This is kind of getting us ready for some of those bigger movements through the core where we're warming up through those muscles in the back, getting them going here. All right, give me 4 more here, twice more on each side. Nice little lift and lower. When you finish those 4, I want you just to pull those hands in right outside the shoulders. So as if you were going to go into a push-up, but we aren't going to, don't you worry. From here, go ahead and lift those hands about an inch up off the floor. So you can't put any pressure into them. So we're still working through warming up our lower back here. So we're going to find a nice activation of the back, keeping those feet planted on the floor, keeping those hands lifted. With your next inhale, I just want you to lift that upper body as high as you can off of the floor through your range of motion. When you get up there, after you've held for one nice deep inhale and exhale, go ahead and place those hands on the floor and lift up into our cobra pose for a nice big stretch. This puts a lot of tension on your lower back. You can keep it down at that low cobra. Once you get up for that nice big stretch with that next exhale, go ahead and bring it back down to the floor. And we're just going to move in that range of motion a couple of times. Lifting the hands, finding that activation, nice big inhale and exhale in that hold, and then press those hands down in and lift up for that stretch. So we're just alternating here at your own pace between that activation and that cobra stretch. Keeping it going a couple of times here. Like I said, if that cobra stretch doesn't feel great on the back, you can always just lift slightly into our low cobra and then bring it right back down. And then give me 2 more of these. When you finish that second one, we're just gonna bring it right back down onto the floor. Okay, up next we're gonna find our dolphin pose. So I want you to place those forearms on the floor with the palms facing down. So we're nice and stable through all 10 fingers. This is just kind of a modified downward facing dog, our dolphin here. So curling those toes under, we're gonna start to bring those hips up, but the feet and the elbows are a little bit far apart. So all we're gonna do is walk the feet in to until you find almost that modified downward dog. So the hips are up a little bit, the head can be down towards the floor. We're in our dolphin here, so no pressure on those wrists, but we're nice and stable through the hands. And then maybe just starting off here by alternating pedaling out those heels, just like we would in our first down dog of the day. Maybe you start here with a nice bend in those knees, a little generosity there for the back of the legs, and then just getting them warmed up and moving here. Working through those shoulders, allowing them to fire up as they support us. And taking a couple of nice deep breaths in this dolphin pose. All right, awesome. From here, we're gonna find some side planks. So still working through that back now that it's activated. So all I want you to do is just to shift out into our low plank. So the feet step back a little bit and the shoulders drift out over those elbows. Now the first time that we do this on each side, we're gonna do the modified version. And then from there, you're welcome to take it up a notch with me or keep it right where we are. From this, I want you to set your left knee down and toss that toe around to the outside. So it's kind of facing the back of the room. I know you can't see it, but it's facing the back of the room and my knee is down. From there, we're gonna keep that top elbow bent, that right elbow bent, as it opens up into our modified side plank. So this left knee is still on the ground, that right leg is out long. We're in this slight modification. We're getting this core a little bit warmed up as we're opening up through the chest nice and wide. With your exhale, we're gonna bring that right hand back down. We're gonna take that left foot back out long, and then we're gonna trade sides. That right knee comes down, that left arm opens up, side plank in that second direction, holding here for just a moment as we get this core going. Now, this is your first option. You can stick with this as we keep moving, or you can take it up a notch. Go ahead and bring that left arm down, bring it back to our center low plank. To take it up a notch, I'm taking my feet a little bit wider. I'm dropping my heels down so that they're right in between. And then I'm just gonna open up through that right arm, same way with my hips up high. If you need that knee down, you're welcome to keep it down. We're gonna hold here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, bring it through center. Same thing on that other side. Bring those heels down in that opposite direction. Opening up through the left. If you need that knee down, keep that knee down. Nice and supported there. We're nice and long from the shoulder down to the foot. We're holding here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back down to center. We're going to do that one more time in each direction. Here we go. Back on that first side. Opening up through that arm. You can modify it or you can keep it up high for 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, bring it down. Last time on that second side. Drop those heels down in the direction. Open up through the left arm for 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, bring it down. I know my shoulders are burning. I hope yours are a little bit too. And then we're just going to bring it back into our dolphin to finish out. So walk those feet in, take those hips up nice and high, pressing through the elbows for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, drop those knees, give those shoulders a little bit of a break. Maybe you sit the hips back. Maybe you bring it up and give them just a couple of rolls. Whew. All right, that felt good. Love a good side plank. Okay. Up next, we're gonna meet in our downward facing dog. So from here, go ahead and plant those hands. Take those fingertips out nice and wide so we're nice and supported. Curl those toes under. Hips come up and back. All right. Whew. So once again, taking a moment here. So maybe the hamstrings are feeling kind of good after that dolphin, or maybe you need an extra second to pedal out those heels. I know this stretch feels good whether I'm warmed up or not. So taking this second here, ears are between the biceps. Got a lot of pressure in all 10 fingers, so there's not a lot of pressure on those wrists. All right, we're gonna bring it to our low lunge to half split. So I want you to take that right foot and step it forward in between those hands. We're then gonna bring that back knee down and let the top of that foot meet the ground. We're gonna move 3 times in each direction. So our first direction is forward, pressing down, opening up through that left hip flexor. Second direction, we're gonna shift those hips back, those front toes come up, and we're bending through that left knee. So there's our first time in each direction. With your next exhale, go ahead and shift it forward. Nice stretch through that hip flexor. Second time into our low lunge. And then inhale, shift those hips back. Second time in that half split, front toes come up, we hinge forward at the hips. Nice big stretch through that hamstring. We're gonna go one more time in each direction. Nice big stretch forward here with your next exhale. Next inhale brings us back for our last time in that half split, that second direction. Exhale to bring it forward. Plant those hands, curl the back toe under, lift our knee, bring the right back to meet the left, down dog. All we're gonna do here is switch sides. So I want you to take that left foot, bring it forward, bring that right knee down, let the top of that foot meet the mat. Same thing, 3 times in each direction. First direction presses us forward, nice big stretch through that long hip flexor. With your next inhale, we're shifting it back. We're bringing those front toes up, nice big stretch through that hamstring. Keeping it going here, that exhale brings us forward. That inhale brings us back. Last time in each direction for our third. That exhale brings us forward. That inhale brings us back. All right, we're gonna meet back in that low lunge with your next exhale, bring it forward, planting those hands. That right toe curls under, that back knee lifts up. We bring that left foot back to meet the right. We're gonna find our modified 3-legged dog to mountain climbers next. So right foot comes up and back into our 3-legged dog. Foot comes back towards the back of the room, heel presses back nice and long. We're gonna find 3 pulses forward, bringing the knee in between the elbows as we shift the shoulders out over the wrists. So here we go for our first one. I'm shifting out into my high plank. I'm bringing my knee between my elbows. Inhale brings me back and up. We've got twice more on this leg. Exhale shifts me forward, knee between the elbows. Inhale brings us up. Last time, this will be our third. Exhale brings us forward, knee between the elbows. Inhale brings us up. And then go ahead, step that foot down. We're just gonna trade sides. Inhale, 3-legged dog on the left side. 3 times over here. Exhale shifts us forward, knee between the elbows. Inhale brings us up. Exhale brings us forward, second of 3. Inhale brings us up. Third and final time on this side for this round. Exhale brings us forward. Inhale brings us up. Step that foot down, switch sides. We've got one more time on each side. Right foot comes up and back, 3-legged dog. Exhale shifts us forward, knee between the elbows. Inhale brings us up, 1 of 3. Exhale brings us forward. Inhale brings us up, 2 of 3. Last time here, exhale forward. Inhale up. Place that foot down. Last time with this, second side here, 3 times. Inhale brings us to our 3-legged dog. Exhale shifts us forward. Inhale brings us up, 1 of 3. Exhale shifts us forward. Inhale brings us up. Last time on this side, that exhale shifts us forward. That inhale brings us up. Place that foot down. All right, we're gonna bring it to our crescent lunge and give those wrists a little bit of a break. 3-legged dog with that right foot brings it up and back. Stepping that foot forward, we're gonna plant the foot down into our lunge. So making sure that the ankle is right underneath the knee. From here, finding your balance with that next inhale, we're gonna sweep those arms up into our crescent lunge. That back heel stays up off of the ground. From here, with your next inhale, I want you to stretch up a little bit higher, and then your exhale brings those elbows down into our cactus. So we're opening up through the chest here. The elbows are down in goalposts or cactus. We're right here with our balance. Nice bend through that right leg. So working through there. From here, we're gonna find an active spinal twist. So all you're gonna do is inhale and center for your long spine, and then exhale to bring your spinal twist as far as you can in that rightward direction over that right leg, keeping those arms wide. With your next inhale, we're gonna come back through center and do it in that other direction. So again, nice active spinal twist over other way. And we're gonna go one more time each direction. Inhale brings us through center. Exhale over towards the right. Inhale through center. Exhale towards the left. That last inhale brings us back to center. Nice big exhale to relax the shoulders. Inhale to lift those arms up. Exhale to fold forward over that front foot. Plant those hands. The right foot comes back to meet the left, downward dog. All right, we've got that same thing on our other side. Left foot comes up and back, three-legged dog. Sweeping that foot forward to meet the ground. Crescent lunges up here. Back heel stays off the ground. When you get your balance, inhale to scoop those arms up. Exhale to shift those elbows down, cactus or goalpost. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, spinal twist to the left over that front leg. Inhale through center. Exhale, spinal twist to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, left one more time. Inhale, center. Exhale, right last time. Inhale, center. Exhale, relax those shoulders. Inhale, lift those arms. Exhale, fold forward, plant those hands. Step that left back to meet the right. Down dog. All right, we're gonna find that one more time on each side here. Right foot comes up and back, three-legged dog. Step that foot forward, finding that ankle right underneath that knee. Next big inhale brings us up to our crescent lunge. Exhale brings us to cactus arms. Inhale finds our long spine. Exhale twists over that front leg. Inhale through center. Exhale other side. Inhale center. Exhale other side, one more time each direction. Inhale center. Last time on this leg. Inhale brings us back to center. Exhale relaxes those shoulders. Inhale lifts those arms. Exhale folds us forward. Plant those hands. Step the right back to meet the left, down dog. Last time with this set of exercises, left leg comes up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale brings that forward. Plant that ankle right underneath that knee. Find your stability, find your balance. With your next inhale, we lift up. Exhale brings us to cactus arms. Inhale finds our long spine. Exhale turns that spine over that front leg. Inhale brings us back to center. Exhale, second direction. Inhale back to center. Exhale, first direction, last time. Inhale, center. Last spinal twist, second direction. Inhale brings us to center. Exhale, relaxes those shoulders. Inhale, lifts those arms. Exhale, plants those hands. Step the left back to meet the right. Down dog. Taking a second here, give those legs a nice little break. You're welcome to stay in the down dog to keep that intensity up. You're welcome to bring it to dolphin to keep the intensity up, to give the wrists a break. Or you're welcome to bring it to child's pose to give the whole body a little bit of a break. We're going to take about 5 nice deep breaths in any of those options. So do what feels right for you. All right, so like I said before, this meeting will end at our 40 minutes. We've got about 6.5 to 7 minutes left here. So I want to find one more nice big flow. At the tail end of that, if you're done for today, you're welcome to bow out when the meeting ends. If you'd like to continue, we'll come right back into this meeting for an extra 20 minutes to complete our 60-minute class. If you found dolphin or child's pose, should be back up in that down dog here, pressing those hips up and back, bringing those ears between the biceps. All right, we're going to find our little bit of a warrior flow here. I want you to take that right foot, bring it up and back, three-legged dog. Bring that foot forward, plant it. Instead of our crescent lunge, this time we're going to turn that left heel down. We're going to bring those arms up, leading with that left out to center. So we've got a nice bend through that right leg. That left heel is planted. We've got a lot of length from fingertip to fingertip in our nice stable warrior position. My legs are a little bit tired here, so hopefully you can feel it there too. We're going to find our peaceful or reverse warrior. With your next inhale, flip that front palm, lift it up and back. Exhale, we're going to cartwheel all the way back down to the floor. Bring that left heel back up. Plant those hands, right foot comes back to meet the left. Same thing other side. Inhale, left foot comes up and back. Sweep it forward, plant that foot, bring that right heel down, leading with that right arm, bring those arms up, warrior two. The bend through that front knee, nice and stable through those hips. Next inhale, we're going to reverse peaceful warrior, flip that front palm, lift it up and back, nice big stretch. With your next exhale, we're cartwheeling all the way down with that right heel, bring that left foot back to meet the right. From here, we're going to find our down dog. With that inhale, I want you to find a little bit more length through that spine. With our exhale, we're going to shift those shoulders out over the wrists and then lower down either from the toes or from the knees. Inhale to press up, cobra, low cobra, or up dog. Exhale, turn those toes over, press those hips up and back. Step or jump those feet forward to meet the hands, making sure that when they reach the top, those big toes are nice and close together. Inhale for our halfway lift, nice flat back, long spine. Exhale into our forward fold. We're going to find our chair up next. So with your next inhale, sit those hips back, sweep those arms up, bring that chest up nice and high. Exhale to fold it back down, plant those hands, step or jump those feet back into our down dog. We're going to find that one more time. Three-legged dog starts us off on our right foot, bringing it up and back. Next exhale, sweeps it forward, planting it, bringing that left heel down, starting with that left arm, bringing those arms up into our warrior two, nice bend through that right leg. Taking a moment here, relax those shoulders, open up from fingertip to fingertip. With your next inhale, flip that front palm, reverse it. Peaceful warrior. Exhale, cartwheel those arms all the way down, lift that left heel up, plant those hands, step that right foot back to meet the left, down dog. Left foot here comes up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale to sweep it forward, plant it, bring that right heel down, cartwheel those arms up, warrior two. Taking that moment here, allowing that bend through that front knee, nice length. With your next inhale, reverse it, flip that front palm, lift it up. Next exhale brings us all the way down, cartwheel those arms down, lift that right heel. Bring that left back to meet that right, down dog. Inhale, a little bit of extra length through the spine. Exhale, flip the shoulders out over the wrists and from the toes or from the knees, lower down. And then inhale to press up. You've got low cobra, cobra, or up dog. Exhale to turn those toes over, press those hips up and back. One more time here, we'll step or jump those feet forward to meet the hands, making sure those toes are nice and close together. Inhale for our halfway lift, nice flat back, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Up next, we've got our chair. With your next inhale, you're going to sit those hips back, sweep those arms up, chest nice and broad. Exhale to fold those hands back down, lift those hips up. Inhale for our halfway lift, flat back, long spine. One more time, and we're going to exhale to forward fold. With your next inhale, nice and slow, I want you to roll all the way up to stand. When you get there, relaxing those shoulders down, opening up through that chest. We'll fall over like I almost just did. All right, with your next big inhale, go ahead and sweep those arms out and up. Exhale to circle down and around. We're going to find that one more time. Inhale brings us out and up. Exhale brings us down and around. So we are going to start this second portion from the back of our mats here. And just to give everyone a couple moments to get recentered and resettled, we're starting in our mountain pose. So taking those feet about hip width distance apart, right underneath the hips. And then just finding that nice, strong, steady pose where we've got a little tension through the quads. Those hands are either facing towards, palms towards the front of the room or palms towards the body. The shoulders are relaxed, but the chest is broad. And then there's a little lift to that chin, so we're kind of proud-chested here. And just finding our breathing for a couple of moments to recenter and refocus. And then I want to start a range of motion here in this mountain pose. So we're just going to move with our arms as we breathe. So with your inhale, we're going to find a little bend through those knees and then sweep those arms out and up. With our exhale, we're just going to circle those arms down and around. So just give me a couple of those at your own pace here. That inhale sweeps us up nice and long, and that exhale circles us down, getting those shoulders going again. Give me 2 more of those. Last one. With that next inhale, we're still going to sweep those arms out and up. Instead of just bringing them down, though, we're going to fold forward with our exhale, bringing those fingertips down towards those toes. Now, maybe you've got a little bend in those knees. That's totally okay. Taking just a second to let the head and shoulders and neck relax here. We're going to find kind of a flow based around our inchworm range of motion. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to inchworm out. I want you to walk those hands out to the end of that mat. So we're almost in that high plank position. And then I want you to press those hips up and back into our down dog. From here, we're going to take that right foot up and back, 3-legged dog. And then sweep it forward. We're going to find that warrior 2 position once again. So ankle comes right under that knee. Left heel turns down. Cartwheeling those arms back up, warrior 2. Spending just a moment here. We're still going to find that reverse peaceful warrior. Next inhale, turn that palm, lift it up and back. Exhale to cartwheel it all the way down, lifting that left heel. Right foot comes back to meet the left once again. Down dog. Same thing as we did before. We're just going with that left foot from here. Inhale brings us up and back. Exhale sweeps us forward. Plants that foot right underneath that knee. Turn that back heel out. Cartwheel up through those arms, warrior 2. Next inhale brings us to peaceful. Turn over that front hand, lift it up and back. Exhale, cartwheels us all the way down, turning that back heel up. Left foot comes back to meet the right, down dog. Here's where the other half of our inchworm comes. I want you to try and keep a lot of length through those legs, so we're not bending and taking this into 2 or 3 steps. I want you to keep them long, find that stretch, tiptoe those feet up to meet those hands. When you get there, you can lift those palms up off the floor. Bring those toes nice and close together, those big toes nice and close together. We've got our chair from this position. With your inhale, we're going to sit those hips back and sweep those arms up, chair pose. Inhale takes us up tall. Lengthen through those legs. Exhale folds us forward. Walk those feet back, plant those hands. Downward dog. Inhale finds a little bit more length through that downward dog. Exhale floats those shoulders out over those wrists. We're lowering down through chaturanga into our upward facing dog or our cobra. Exhale turns those toes over, lifts those hips up and back. And then completing our inchworm, walk those hands back to meet those feet. When you get there, finding that forward fold for just a moment. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back, long spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rolls us up. All right, we're going to move with that again. Inhale brings those arms out and up. Exhale folds us forward. Inhale brings our halfway lift, flat back, long spine. Exhale folds us forward, plant those hands, walk them out into that almost plank. When you get there, press those hips up and back, downward dog. Right foot comes up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, sweeps it forward, plants that foot, warrior two. Turn that back heel out, cartwheel those arms up, fingertip to fingertip, nice and long. Exhale to relax the shoulders. Inhale to turn that palm over, reverse it, peaceful warrior. Exhale, cartwheels us down, turn that back heel up, plant those hands. Right foot comes back to meet the left. Downward dog. Next inhale brings that three-legged dog on the other side. Bring it up and back. Exhale sweeps us forward, plant that foot. Turn that right heel down. Warrior two, cartwheel those arms up. Exhale, relax the shoulders. Inhale, flips that front palm, lifts it up and back, peaceful. Exhale, cartwheels us down. Turn that back heel up. Left foot comes back to meet the right, downward dog. From here, we're going to tiptoe those feet forward, keeping those legs long until we reach those hands. When you're ready to, you can lift those palms up, finding that forward fold. Keep those toes nice and close together at the top of your mat. Next inhale brings us into chair. When you're ready, sit those hips back, sweep those arms up. We're going to find a little bit of a hold here. If you'd like to find a spinal twist, you can bring those palms together. You can bring that left elbow to the outside of that right knee, stacking those palms right on top of each other. If this isn't quite right for you today, welcome you to stay in center. Powering up through those legs, finding that nice tension. With your inhale, if you found that twist, go ahead, bring it through center and switch that spinal twist direction. Right hand or right elbow comes to the outside of that left knee. You're still in that center hold, stay with me. Next inhale brings us all to center, lift those arms up nice and tall. Exhale sits us a little bit further into it. Inhale brings us all the way up. Exhale folds us forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, long side. Exhale, fold it forward, plant those hands, step those feet back. Downward facing dog, hips come up and back. We've got a little low flow here. Inhale, nice long spine. Exhale, floats those shoulders out over those wrists, and then we lower down from the toes or from the knees. Inhale presses us up to our up dog or our cobra. Exhale brings those toes over, presses those hips up and back. Completing our inchworm here, walk those hands back to meet those feet. Inhale brings us to a halfway lift. Exhale brings us forward fold. Inhale comes all the way back up. Whew. All right, we're gonna find that just one more time. Stick with me here. Inhale, sweep those arms out now. Exhale brings us down into our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, long spine. Exhale, fold forward, walk those hands out, inchworm all the way out to that plank, and then press those hips up and back, downward dog. Starting off on that right foot, we've got our warrior series. Right foot comes up and back with that inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, sweeps it forward, stepping that foot down. When you get there, your next inhale turns that left heel out, leading with that left arm, we cartwheel up, warrior two. Nice exhale to sink into it, relax those shoulders. Next inhale, flips that palm, reverses it. Next exhale, cartwheels us all the way down to the floor, lifting that left heel back up. When you get there, plant those hands. That right foot comes back to meet the left. Downward dog. Last time with this on our left leg. Inhale brings us up and back, three-legged. Exhale sweeps us forward. Plant that foot. When you get there, turn that back heel down, leading with that right arm, bringing it up, warrior two. Exhale, sinks that knee a little bit further. Inhale, flips that front palm, reverses it, peaceful warrior. Exhale, cartwheels us down. Bring that back heel up. Left foot comes back to meet the right. Last time here. All right, from here, we are going to go in that other direction. We're walking those feet up to meet the hands. We've got our chairs up next. So when you get to that nice forward fold, make sure those big toes are right next to each other. Chair pose, same as before. We're going to find a little hold. With your next inhale, sit those hips back, sweep those arms up. Once again, you can stay right at center if this feels good, or if you want that spinal twist, you can pull those palms together. First, bringing the left elbow to the outside of that right leg, stacking those palms, keeping those hips as low as you can here. If you found that side, with your next inhale, bring it up through center, keep those legs bent, and then bring it over to that other side. Nice spinal twist, opposite direction. Nice job, guys. Stick with it here. With that next inhale, we're gonna all meet back in that nice center position, extending those arms up. Exhale to sit a little bit deeper into it, and then that next inhale brings us all the way up. Exhale folds us forward. Inhale brings us to a halfway lift. Exhale folds it forward, plant those hands, step those feet back, downward dog. We've got our low flow to finish off this last little bit. Inhale finds that nice lengthened spine in our downward dog. Exhale floats those shoulders out over those wrists, and then we lower down from the toes or from the knees. That inhale presses us up, cobra, low cobra, or up dog. Exhale turns those toes over, presses those hips up and back, and we're completing our inchworm here by walking those hands back to those toes. Inhale for our halfway lift when we get there. Exhale folds us forward one final time. Inhale rolls us all the way back up to that mountain pose. Whew. All right. We're gonna find one more, a little bit of a flow to finish this out for our last little bit today. We still have about 8 to 10 minutes left. So first thing I want to do to start by getting us warmed up is we're going to find our warrior 3 in this next little flow. So I want to start us off with the tree. So you can stay right where you are. I'm just going to bring it to face center. For your tree, as always, you've got a couple of options. So our first one, we're going to start with that right leg. Your first one has those toes on the ground. Use this as a little bit of a kickstand or a prop. So if you're not feeling super balanced today, you can keep it right there. Next option brings it up to that calf. Only thing I don't want you to do today is place that heel on the inside of that knee. We don't want to press it outward. Last option brings us up to that inner thigh. Any of those that feels good today, find that option for you. We're going to spend a couple of moments in here. Those hands can be at center, they can be out wide, or they can be up in that tree. About 10 seconds left here. If you come out of it, just nice and easy, come back into it. As we release, we're going to take it nice and slow here. So I want you to first just let that foot come away from the knee. Then I want you to bring that knee around to center. We're going to lengthen that leg out in front and then sweep it down to meet that other foot. We've got that same thing on the other side. So if you're ready to just transition into your option, feel free to do that. But once again, I'll go through those options. You can use that foot as that kickstand. Maybe this side feels a little bit different balance-wise. You can bring it up to that calf. Or you can use that assistance and bring it all the way up to that inner thigh, just making sure that you're not pressing right into that knee. Once again, palms can be together, arms can be out wide, or you can bring it up into that nice tree with those nice big limbs. Once again, we're going to take about another 10 seconds here, breathing into this. And again, as we come out of this, we're going to try and take it nice and slow. So first thing I want you to do is release that foot from that leg, bring that knee around to center. When you get there, extend that foot out nice and long in front, and then circle it down to meet that other. Take a second to shake out those legs as we move to the top of our mat. Whew. All right, so like I said, this one is going to end up in our warrior 3, so our kind of airplane pose. If you need that modification for it, all you need to do is leave that back foot down as we hinge forward. First thing to get there, we're going to do inhale, bring those arms out now. Exhale, fold forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it forward, plant those hands, step those feet back. Press those hips up and back, downward dog. We're going to start in our crescent lunge on that right leg. So right leg comes up and back, three-legged dog. Stepping it forward so that that ankle is right underneath that knee. We then have our crescent lunge so that back heel stays up. We sweep those arms up, keeping that bend through that front knee. Now to get into our warrior 3 from here, if you can, all I want you to do is bend through that knee, power forward, bring that back leg up, and take those arms a little bit forward. If you need it from that crescent lunge position, you can step that foot up, hinge at those hips. You've got that tripod option. You've got that airplane option by taking those arms around behind, or you can find that nice length from fingertip to heel. So again, this is a little bit of a balance challenge. If you step down, I want you to just take a second to bring it back into it. We've got another 5, 4, 3, 2, right here, bend through that knee, trying to step that foot back right into our crescent lunge. If you need an extra step, go ahead and take it. Inhale, lengthen those arms up a little bit further. Exhale, bring those hands down to meet that mat. Right foot comes back to meet the left, down dog. Same thing on that left side. Inhale brings us up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale sweeps it forward. We've got our crescent lunge. Plant that foot so that the ankle is right underneath that knee. With that next inhale, we sweep it up. Finding this nice stable crescent lunge. And then we're going to bring it to that warrior 3. So again, if you need that little step to find your stability, or if you can just hinge it right forward. Again, you can find that length all the way from fingertips to heels. You can take those arms back for our airplane, or maybe you need a little bit of balance, so those hands point down towards the floor. Couple more seconds here. With that next exhale, if you can, nice and easy, step it back into our crescent. If you need an extra step, take that step. Inhale, lengthen those arms up. Exhale, fold it forward. Plant those hands. Step that left back to meet the right. Downward dog. Inhale brings those hips up and back just a little bit. Exhale, flip those shoulders out over those wrists, and we lower down. Inhale presses us up to that up dog or cobra. Exhale turns those toes over, hips come up and back. Downward facing dog. We're going to find that balance one more time in each direction. So we're just going to start from this down dog here. Starting off with that right leg, we bring it up and back. Three-legged dog. Exhale sweeps it forward, planting that foot so that the ankle is right under the knee. With your next inhale, we've got our crescent lunge. Bring those arms up nice and long. Next exhale brings us forward, either into that modified warrior 3 or that full warrior 3. If you're like me and you maybe just fell out of it a little bit, like I said before, just taking your time, bringing yourself back into it. With that next exhale, we step it back. Lift those arms. Inhale lengthens. Exhale folds us forward. Plant those hands when you get there. Step the right back to meet the left. Downward dog. Last time through on this set of exercises, we just got that second leg. Inhale brings that left foot up and back. Exhale sweeps it forward. Plant that foot. Inhale brings us up to our crescent lunge. Taking just a moment here, find that nice bend through that knee, find that stability. That next exhale sweeps us forward, modified or full, warrior 3. Leaving it there another couple of seconds. Nice work, you guys. That next exhale steps us back. Crescent lunge. Woo. Inhale lengthens up. Exhale folds forward. Plant those hands, step the left back to meet the right. Inhale, a little bit of extra length through that spine. Exhale, float those shoulders out over those wrists and then lower down from the toes or from the knees. Inhale, sweeps us up last time in our up dog. Exhale, turns those toes over, hips come up and back. Taking a moment here, we're going to drop those knees nice and wide, bring those toes close together, step those hips back towards the heels for a child's pose. Then I want you to take this time to kind of recenter, refocus, find your breath. Give your shoulders a minute to relax. And like I said, we're going to take about a minute and a half and find just a little final relaxation, Shavasana. I don't usually take a ton of time on these live classes for things like that, but since I tried to extend it today, you guys all came back and joined me for the extra 20 minutes. I just wanted to take a couple of seconds and work hard today. So transitioning to your final relaxation position, maybe child's pose feels really good for you today, then you want to stay here. Maybe you transition over onto your back or out long onto your mat. Maybe you find something like legs up to the wall or a butterfly pose. Just taking a second to transition to that comfortable position. Maybe seated is where you're at today. Wherever you need to be. So just take these final couple of moments. And I promise we won't be here super long, but just to come back to our center, come back to find our breathing. When you find that comfortable position, I want you to just take a couple of nice deep inhales and exhales. Wherever you are, as you inhale, finding that expansion through the chest. So maybe you bring a hand to the belly or the chest. And then I want you to take that scan of the body that we began with today, starting from the top of the head, moving down through the muscles in the face and the jaw, down to the neck and the shoulders, through the torso, the arms, the legs. Noticing again how you're feeling. Maybe it's a little bit different than before. I know for me it definitely is. With that next exhale, any of that tension that you found, any of that difference that you found, let it go. Really allowing gravity to pull you down onto the floor in whichever direction might that be. So if you're maybe in a little bit different of a position, maybe it's a little bit different. And I just want to finish out today's practice with just a little bit of gratitude. Just because, just like the other week, I've been, thinking about the things that I'm thankful for. And this gratitude maybe goes inward towards your soul if you're a more spiritual person, maybe sending it in that direction. Maybe it's a little bit more surface. I'm thankful for my feet that carried me this many miles this week. I'm thankful for my shoulders that supported me through all those downward jogs. Maybe you're thankful in a broader sense, family, friends, job that you have, wherever you are, just taking this one more moment to find that thankfulness, really allow it to heat up through your center. And wherever you were, I want us to transition now here over to our comfortable seated position that we started in, just to finish off. So maybe you roll towards your favorite side if you're on your back. Maybe you just press up. And when you get there, finding that comfortable seated position, allowing those shoulders to relax, allowing you to find your nice long spine out through the top of your head. We're going to find 2 big inhales and exhales. We're going to lead with those arms. Big inhale brings those arms out and up. And exhale circles them down and around. On this last one, those palms are going to meet in the center of your head. Big inhale brings this out and up. Palms meet, exhale pulls those hands down to heart center. As always, thank you so much for sharing your Monday evening with me. I'm so happy to have all of you here. The light in me honors the light in you. Bowing, as we say, namaste.